Assalamu alaikum, dears. How are you? I welcome you here on my training channel. My name is Abdul Khalik. Dears, look, the life we are living, it is not smooth at all, not for everybody, not for anybody, rather. There are good times in the life, there are bad times as well. There are comfortable and favorable circumstances and situations, and also there are uncomfortable and unfavorable circumstances at the same time. So the life is not smooth at all. Sometimes the sun is shining, at certain other times it is quite cloudy, sometimes it is raining, at certain other time there are a lot of thunderstorms, there are floods, and there are hurricanes. So as for the change of the weather is concerned, maybe the circumstances keep changing. There is a profit, there is a loss, and there is loss. There is a happiness and happiness, there is a trouble and trouble. So, dear friends and fellows, it is easy to feel okay and it is satisfying when the things are in your favor. But once the life becomes tough and the things are not that easy, you feel like the life has become quite challenging. So, what to do in a situation like this one? That is, I think, that demands quite a lot of qualities, good qualities, and the patience and the self discipline and certain other good qualities as well. But not only certain other good qualities, but at the same time, the right sort of strategy as well to be able to navigate our life in the tough circumstances. That is the topic of our discussion today. When there is a crisis, when the circumstances are really tough, so how can you, can navigate the life in a better way, so that later on we we feel that I was doing the right thing at that time. I was able to manage it. I was able to handle it rightly and in a better way. So let's begin. Let's begin exploring our topic today, navigating the life in the tough circumstances. So, first of all, once we are talking about navigating the life in the circumstances like this one, the first thing which comes to rescue us, that is our emotional resilience. Emotional, being a resilient person, that is absolutely okay, and that is something, a great gift of Allah, and we can develop it with the persistent practice and effort. But dear friends, being emotionally resilient, that is something of highest value. So I think we should miss no opportunity at all to develop the emotional resilience. What is this emotional resilience? So let's talk about it. How can we develop it? How can we seek the help from the emotional resilience? So I think there are 5 points to be noted. First of all, it is accept and acknowledge your emotion. Accepting and acknowledging your emotion, whatever type of emotion you are experiencing at the moment, because that is equal to diagnosing the disease. So that is accept and acknowledge your emotions on the one hand. Number two, practice self-care, like resting, like a rest, like exercise, like meditation, like proper sleep, and like certain other things as well. So the second thing, as for the emotional resilience is concerned, it is practicing the self care. The third thing, the third point on the agenda of the emotional resilience is that focus on the present moment. That is highly beneficial. Why do I say this thing? Because look, every one of us have a past. As for the past is concerned, there are a lot of regretful things which happened in my past, in your past, in everybody's past. But the trouble is that if at all we start dwelling in the past, it will become, the present will become very painful. And simply, what as for the past is concerned, we need to learn whatever can be learned. Then let it go. Then let it go. Do not dwell in the past at all. Live in the present. So that is the third point. As for the emotional resilience is concerned, focus on the present moment. The number four point, on the agenda of the emotional resilience is that reframe challenges as opportunities. Reframing of the challenges as opportunities. Why? How can it be? I think we need to tell ourselves that there is a famous proverb. The proverb says that everything that does not kill you make you stronger. In the same manner, it is the challenges which actually create the opportunities for us to become a strong person, to be more confident, to become a more capable person. So that is indeed, as for the challenges are concerned, these are opportunities for growth. Now the fifth and the last point on the agenda of the emotional resilience is that it cultivate gratitude. Cultivating gratitude. What is this gratitude and why to be grateful when the things are getting so tough? I think there is an attitude of keep complaining, of keep criticizing. But as for the excessive complaints and the criticism is concerned, that is posing highly toxic and negative impact upon our psyche. So for all that reason, it is highly important that let all that negativity go away. So we need to cultivate the gratitude, being grateful even for the smaller things which are available to us, which we are benefiting from. Not to ignore the smaller things, not to take it for granted at all, rather to be grateful. Because how can we become a grateful person? Being grateful person mean that being a stronger person. And how can we become a grateful person? By focusing on what we have. Instead of focusing on what we are lacking, I think we need to focus and concentrate upon what we are possessing. Once we adopt an attitude like this one, we will become grateful person, and we will start practicing the attitude of gratitude. Anybody and everybody who is practicing the gratitude, I think they people are far better emotionally. And remember, we as a first step, we are talking about the emotional resilience. And the fifth and the last point on the agenda of the emotional resilience is that cultivate gratitude. As the next step, there are certain practical strategies. There are certain practical strategies for navigating the life when the circumstances become tough. So the first point, as for the practical strategy is concerned, that is break problems into manageable tasks. Breaking the problems into smaller and manageable tasks. So that is the number one point as for the practical strategies is concerned. The second point on the practical strategies is that seek support from the trusted networks. There are certain trusted networks. It is provided by the governments, by the NGOs, by the social workers, and by all those. I think we need to seek the support from the trusted networks. The third point on the practical strategies is prioritize needs over wants. That is very important. Not to spend your resources at all, your time, energy, financial resources, and others. Not spend any of these things on just your wants. Rather to focus and to concentrate upon whatever is the basic need. And now the fourth point on the agenda of practical strategies is that set realistic goals and deadlines. Setting up realistic goals and setting up the deadlines. So we are talking about the practical strategy. The fifth and the last point on as for the practical strategies is concerned, that is taking calculated risks. Some of the people, they avoid the risk taking. They don't take risk at all. This is not a good attitude. While there are certain other types of people, they are seen taking the blind risk. That is another stupidity. Never ever take the blind risk at all. Always take a well prepared calculated risk. So these are the 5 points about as for the practical strategies of navigating our life in the tougher circumstances. Now we need to go to the next step of it, that is called mental reframing. We can reframe mentally by paying attention to the 5 point. Number one, that is challenge negative thoughts. Challenge negative thoughts, counter negative thoughts. Always, that is challenging negative thought. Number two, practice positive self talk. Practicing positive self talk. Self talk, people say that I don't do the self talk, I talk with other people. The truth is that our self talk exceeds all the talk we make to the other people combined. Our self talk is even heavier than that, because maybe we are talking to ourselves very, very, very frequently, quite often, maybe for all the time, maybe for all the waking hours. So, for that reason, it is important enough to pay attention to the self talk, and always, always, always be positive enough. As for the self talk is concerned, be as careful while talking to yourself as careful we are while talking to our students, to the younger folks, the people who are under our training. So because as for the negative self-talk is concerned, that is highly toxic, negative, poisonous, rather disastrous. Number 3 point on the mental reframing is focus on the strengths, not the weaknesses. But everybody has certain weaknesses, everybody has certain strengths. Not to focus and not to pay much of the attention to the weaker points, rather always concentrate upon, pay attention, and try to utilize try to take the maximum advantage of your strengths, and taking advantage, taking it, taking the optimal benefit of it for ourselves, for our loved ones, and for other people. So that is focus on the strengths, not weaknesses. Number 4 point on the mental reframing is that is develop a growth mindset. Developing a growth mindset. What is this growth mindset, by the way? All of us have certain failures, certain setbacks. So we stumble sometime, that is fine, but the only thing is that we need to learn, and we need to gain the experience and the skills and the strategies, and of course the confidence. So that is how we can develop the growth mindset. And the fifth point on the agenda of mental reframing is that small victories cultivate small victories, celebrate small victories, rather celebrating, appreciate yourself for every small victory, and celebrate the small victories done by you, because it builds the confidence. Remember, as for the major successes are concerned, these happen rarely indeed, not frequently at all. So if at all we attach our happiness and celebration and appreciation of self, with the major victories, that, let me tell you, it does happen rarely. But as for the smaller victories are concerned, as for the milestones reaching is concerned, it keep happening. We need to appreciate ourselves for all that. So that was the mental reframing, and now we are going to talk about the spiritual grounding. The spiritual grounding, because all of that for the purpose of one major agenda, that is navigating the life in the difficult or the tough circumstances. Now it is the spiritual grounding. Number one, connect with the nature or higher power. Connect with the nature or higher. We are the Muslim. I'm a Muslim. So we try to say the prayers 5 times a day, and it connects us with the God, with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we people feel stronger spiritually. So that is connect with the nature or a higher power. Number 2, it is practice mindfulness and presence. Mindfulness says not to live in the past, not to dwell in the past at all. Learn whatever you can from the past, then let it go, let it go, let it go. Not to live in the future, not to keep worrying about the future, rather live in the present. So that is very important. That is called mindfulness, and this is very, very important indeed. Practice mindfulness and presence. Number 3, find meaning and purpose. Your life should not be just because we have got the life and we are living. Rather, there should be a great cause. There should be a greater cause in the life of each and every individual. So that is the number three. We are talking about the spiritual grounding. Number four, it is, cultivate forgiveness and compassion. Cultivating forgiveness and cultivating compassion at the same time. Forgiveness, we people say, many of the people think that why to forgive other people, who have done the bad thing with me. The trouble is that we will remain under the stress and we will remain under a lot of burden unless and until we learn to forgive the people. So, dear friends and fellows, cultivating forgiveness and compassion. Be kind-hearted to other people and be kind-hearted toward yourself as well. That is called cultivating forgiveness and compassion. The fifth and the last point on the agenda of spiritual grounding is that seek guidance from mentors or role models. We should need to seek the guidance. Get a mentor, get a coach if you can, and then seek guidance from the mentors or the role models. So dear friends and fellows, we have talked a lot about navigating our life in the tough circumstances. We are going to move to the next step, and that next step is called actionable steps. Number one, take small steps toward recovery, because we have to rehabilitate ourselves. That will be possible taking small steps toward recovery. Number two, create a daily routine. Create a daily routine of good items, good practices, good habits, good routines. Number three, practice self-compassion. Be kind-hearted toward yourself. Number four, it is learn from the mistakes. Learning from the mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, but we need to learn, and whoever learn from their mistakes, they are great people. Number five is stay adaptable. Staying adaptable, what is meant by this? Staying adaptable means that your circumstances are changing. Life is not smooth and the same. So if at all the circumstances are changing, we should learn to adopt. We should learn to adopt the new circumstances and the new situations. So that is, these are the 5 points of actionable steps. Now there are certain reminders as a last step of our today's discussion, the discussion about how to navigate the life in the tougher circumstances. As a last step, we are going to put forward certain reminders. What are those certain reminders? These are 5 in number. First of all, tough times are temporary. Whatever type of circumstances you are living, this will all pass. This will go away. Every day, rather every minute and every moment, the things that may mean that you are reducing the time, that is, tough times are temporary. Number two, you are stronger than you think. You are stronger than you think. Number three, help is available. Help is available from here, from there, and from there. Number four, focus on the progress, not the perfection. There is nothing like perfection at all, but we need to focus and concentrate upon the progress and the improvement. Number five, the last point as a reminder, it is keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Stay strong, and remember that navigating through circumstances is a journey. The life in itself is a journey. I think that today's topic was highly important, highly beneficial for all the people who are, in a tougher or a difficult circumstances and situation. Please remember that every individual, regardless of the resources, whether they are rich or poor, whether they are educated or uneducated, they live in Pakistan, Afghanistan, or they live in Western Europe or America, everybody have to face the tougher circumstances, but we need to take it technically. We need to take it positively. We need to take it as an opportunity. We talk in length, and there was a comprehensive talk today, on our channel by me, and I thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that I've got such a precious content on the topic. So that's all from me at the moment. Thank you very much.